Hello. So today I'm gonna speak a little bit more about how this is good news and take away all the seriousness around spirituality, manifestation, because this is the best news you could ever hear. This is the absolute freedom in recognizing your true form as God, in recognizing that you're everything and as everything you have everything, in recognizing that there is no opposition and you are the source. You are everything and anything. And it has only been perceived as an illusion that you're not God, because as God, you decided to play by identifying with a separate self, with a human being, with identifying with playing the role of a human being which is essentially a character, a role play that as God you decided to play. And this identification with this human that you, God, in your true form decided to play, this human had a personality, ideas, thoughts, whatever it may be, which made it seem and gave the illusion, the appearance that there was a separation between this character with this human being and other human beings. In this recognition of your true form, of like, oh, wait a minute, I'm done playing this character. It's a great character. It's fantastic. It's not good or bad, but it is just a character. It doesn't exist. This is an illusion. You then rest in the knowingness of awareness, God. And in that resting of knowingness, this is not an action that you have to do from your character, from the human self. In the resting of your true form as the all-encompassing, in which everything is appearing and it contains every single appearance, in that knowing, which it's the pure knowing. You don't need to know you're God, just like your human self doesn't need to know they're not wearing a cat mask and they're not a cat. God always has known, and it's all there is. All right? But in that resting, in that recognition, in that awareness of your true form, then you become the full embodiment of that. And then you can play and you have freedom and you become completely free. Because you become completely free from the costume, from the character that you were thinking you were. You now recognize and you stop thinking you're this character. Not that you ever had to be convinced that you weren't, because as God, you always knew you weren't this character, but you recognize it and then you play and you choose a different character. You choose a different human being to experience their perspective, or you choose a different physical appearance, or you choose a different version of other human beings and the interactions that they have, and you choose everyone to be treating you with adoration and love, or you choose everyone to be speaking on rhymes, or you choose everyone to be flying. Whatever it is, as God, as source, you can have everything and anything you want. You are the limitless, eternal, formless. And it's in that space of play. It is in that space of creation. So, of course, nothing is impossible. Of course, nothing is too far out, because you're everything, and everything that could ever be contained or thought from you, from your true form as God, it is possible, and it's completely limitless, because you are the infinite awareness. You are God, and God is the Almighty, the limitless. It is, again, only by identifying, by playing the character, by playing the human self, that it gives the appearance, it gives the illusion of separation. And you will tell me, well, I understand I am source, I understand I'm God, I understand everything is appearing inside of me as the awareness I am, and it's all forms of me, but I'm still waking up inside, looking inside this body and experiencing it from this perspective, despite me knowing God, I'm God. Well, and that's only because God is still playing this role, this character of source. But when you truly de-identify, and it's not something you have to do, it's something that happens to the human being, it's something that happens not from the human mind, but when God source recognizes, I'm not this body, I'm not this human being, I'm all of them, I'm all of the human beings, I am playing all of these different characters simultaneously, but all there is and all there ever will be, and the only thing real here is the awareness in which everything is appearing. It's the dreamer that is dreaming this whole thing up, and it's all being dreamt inside of it. In that recognition, then there's complete limitless. There's no, every single timeline is contained within you. Every single possibility, every single scenario, every single scene is contained and appearing within you, within this dream. When you drop the identification, when God stops playing the role or identifying with this character. And this is not a shift that happens to the human self. It's not a shift that happens to the human being. It's a different perspective in how reality goes by. The human being nothing happens to the human being in itself. Or nothing different to what has always happened to the human being happens. It is just the illusion of identification with this illusionary human self disappears, and the truth that has always been reveals itself, that is God. So when you drop this illusionary identification, when God stops playing this illusionary character that doesn't exist and recognizes itself as the only awareness and the only God that has ever been, then everything unfolds naturally, just like it has always unfolded naturally, but from the perspective of the dreamer that is dreaming this whole thing up, from the perspective of the one who is aware that everything is awareness and is appearing inside of them. And you can play from that perspective. Again, never from the human being, never from the human being's mind, never from the human being's character, never from the human being's nervous system or the human being's imagination. It is in the complete de-identification with the human being and in the recognition that you are the formless, faceless substance of power that is giving life, essentially, and the substance that is forming all of these things, everything, that then everything naturally reveals itself, and your desires, if we're gonna have to call them desires or something, but everything just simply reveals itself naturally because it was always contained within you. So in this dream, it's essentially about awareness, God just revealing whatever they want to be aware of at that point in time. Not limited to a separate human being, not limited to a separate self, not limited to a human being in a world, but completely limitless in the knowing that they are the limitless, the eternal everything in which everything is contained. So as an example of what we're referring to here, your true form is this color, this grayish color in which everything already exists and everything is contained within you. You are this kind of like ethereal grayish color. And by recognizing you are everything and everything is appearing within you, this whole world is appearing within you, everything is appearing within you. There's no time, there's no distance, there's just now. And whatever is then being revealed in this reality is just a reflection of what God wants to reveal at that time. And when God, and it's a reflection, right? That's why we say that the 3D reality is a reflection, which is not technically accurate because there's no separation between 3D and 4D. But the better way to describe this is that the 3D is just reflecting whatever God is identifying with. So if God is identifying with a human being, then the stories from this human being, the fears or the abundance or the wishes of this human being, or what the beliefs of this human being will reveal themselves as in this so-called 3D reality. If God then recognizes itself as God, this 3D reality will then reflect the abundance and fulfillment of God in this 3D reality. And which it's a very relief sort of power. It's not an egoic sort of power. It's not now this human being is the most powerful human being in this world. No, it is a relief one. It's a relief power of, oh, all right, so everything is happening exactly how I want in my true form, because this human being is just an illusion, doesn't exist. This 3D world doesn't exist. It's just a mirror that is reflecting back whatever I'm identifying with as God, or whatever I'm choosing to experience as God. And in the recognition of I am God, and whatever, everything is just a dream appearing within me, then naturally the mirror, the reflection also adjusts and shows the complete fulfillment and wholesomeness that is already within you. And whatever in that state, in that recognition, God decides to reveal, and God reveals in knowing they are themselves, then will be reflected back in reality as an experience. Again, there is no separation between the human being and God. The human being is just the whole of God. It is the whole dream and the whole existence and the everything of God. It is only when God identifies and thinks it's the human being, and not even thinks, plays to think that it is this human being separate and is playing this illusion of separation, that things appear that the opposite way. They appear to take time. They appear to there's the appearance of lack. There's the appearance of there are other people that might reject you. There are other people that might oppose you. But again, there aren't other people, just like there isn't a human being listening to this YouTube video. There's only God dreaming this whole thing. And in this dream, then everything and anything can be experienced when this costume, when this character, when God chooses or stops identifying and stops playing with the character. Again, it's not that your human being needs to de-identify from the character, from the human mind. It's something that naturally happens because there is no doer. And I know you've heard them, there's no doer, there's no thinker, and you are like, please stop talking about these spiritual terms. I get it. I find them really annoying, but it points essentially, and let's simplify this, it's essentially pointing to there's no doer, there's no thinker, because there's no one here. This is just an illusionary, moldable reality that just reflects whatever God is choosing to experience at that time. So there's no doer, there's no thinker, there's nothing, and there's absolutely nothing here, and it's all an illusion because there's only one singular thing. So it's not even that there's no doer, there's no thinker, it's that there is only one doer and one thinker, which is you, which is God in your true form, beyond the separate self, beyond the human being, beyond the human mind, as well as containing everything in itself. So hope that makes sense to you. Let me know if you have questions. Again, this is fun. This is good news. This is the best news ever, right? We are able to now recognize ourselves as God and give ourselves whatever experience we want to give ourselves as God, not limited to a single human being, but completely limitless to any and every single human being. When we truly recognize that we've never been this human being. We've never been the human being in which you've woken up inside the body. That's never for a single second been you. You've never been anyone other than God. You've never been anyone other than God, playing costumes and having fun and enjoying and experiencing separation, because probably, and now this is my character speaking as so manifesting, but maybe as God, you were like, okay, I want to have experiences. There's only me here. I'm complete and full fulfillment, but let's make things interesting. Probably that's not what happened, because as God, again, as source, as awareness, it couldn't get more interesting than already having everything within you and the absolute completeness and fulfillment and wholesomeness. But how good then that this magical life has come to be, and that you're now awakening to your true form and recognition of God, and can stop playing this costume, this character, this human being, and recognize yourself as a multi-dimensional being, the formless, faceless substance, that source that creates and has created absolutely everything. How awesome. All right, let's have fun, let's enjoy, let's play. This is simple. It's either God playing this human being and identifying with a separate self that doesn't exist and it is an illusion, or God knowing is God, which has always known, and then does whatever God wants to do, and that's always what God wants anyway. It's essentially very, very simple. There's just these two options, which are not really options. It's just the natural movement of God being God and wanting and whatever God wants to experience, but you are God. So good news. You're always getting what you want. That's amazing. Love you so much.